Good.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, we're live.
We are live.
It's so good to be here. Let's see. Okay, we're having
Technical difficulties, always the best. Love them all.
yes. Okay. So here we go. Yes, difficulties, we're all good. Okay. So, yes, well, we are super excited to be here. I am very excited to be here because I was sick last week and I missed it. So I was listening, but I wasn't able to be live. So welcome, welcome. Here we are. It's Wednesday, no, Thursday. It's the first
Thursday.
of June already. It's June 1st. And we are really excited to come live and share with you guys. And I don't know. Is there anything you want to say, Dan, as a welcome?
Well, I think this is it's nice because there's a familiar feel to all this. We've been doing this for 7 consecutive weeks. And there's also just kind of an excitement about, making a way for these moments not to end. And I just think I'm looking forward to that. And I think the community and the connection that gets built in all of this is something that I so appreciate and I so enjoy and I'm grateful for. And I'm just excited to keep it going.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And we're excited because we've been actually working on some things. We've been talking for months actually about this, and we've been really praying and kind of thinking about some things here. And we're so excited because we feel like this timing is so God, it's so perfect. We've been meeting together here for the last 7 weeks. We've been counting the Omer, right? And that time is that time between Passover and Pentecost. It's the time that you are preparing your hearts. It's designed to be introspective and to prepare our hearts to receive what God is offering in this season of our lives. When you
Yeah.
think about the season, we're actually aligning with two very epic and powerful seasons in history that overlap. And it's so powerful to think the first one in Exodus, when God brought his people through the desert, and after he took them out of Egypt and slavery and bondage, right, and he showed them who he was through all these miracles, the Red Sea, the daily manna, right, all of those things. And there was even trials, there was miracles and trials, and he was preparing their hearts to receive his law. And those were really the words of his heart that were designed to help them live in alignment with him and receive his blessings.
Yeah.
So then we're aligning with 1500 years later, on the exact same days of the calendar, Jesus would come and fulfill all that, right? He would be crucified on the same day as the Passover. He would rise, he would walk with his disciples for 40 days after that. And in that same way, he was showing them who he was and helping them to understand who they were, what their role was, what their calling was, their identity. And in a similar way, preparing them to receive what God had for them. And I don't know if you can be prepared to receive that, like, like what all of us are, but we know that they were all in Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost, and what they received was beyond any of their wildest dreams. They received the Holy Spirit, and they received that. And that day, as they were celebrating the giving of the law, it was fulfilled by the Spirit. The Spirit fulfilled it. And everyone was a witness. I love studying this out and learning that there was so much noise and ruckus happening that everyone ran over to see what was going on. And so everyone was there and they got to be a witness to such an incredible thing. So, just like God did in the desert and like Jesus did for his disciples, they were showing the people how much God loved them.
Yeah.
And I know you and I have talked about that before. And I know I love how you shared that one of the most challenging things in our walk with God is receiving his love and receiving what he has for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it's really hard to comprehend how much God loves us because we live in a very finite, temporal, imperfect world populated by imperfect people.
Yeah.
So it's so hard because we get glimpses of it, right? We get glimpses of it in the relationships that really matter to us, that we really draw joy from, that we pour ourselves into, and we get little glimpses of the measure of what that might be like to have 100% pure, unadulterated love pouring down on you. But we really don't have a frame of reference for it other than these little temporary moments that we experience with other human beings. So
Yeah.
it's hard to grasp, and I think it's something that just happens a little bit over time at all the right times and in all the right places so that we continue to reach out for God because he's the only one that brings meaning and fulfillment and happiness to our lives. No matter where else we look and
Yeah.
try to find it, we can really only find it in him. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough it's I mean, but what a cool problem to have, right? I'm trying to figure out how much God loves me. Like it's a nice, what a nice thing to wrestle with and try to
Yes.
figure out. But it
Yeah.
is, yeah, it is kind of like one of those things where you're just like, oh my gosh, I just, you know,
Yeah, and
so
I think part of that journey of receiving that is really coming to a place of understanding our worth, our
yeah,
identity. It's a journey of identity, of
yeah,
receiving that and understanding that. And
yeah,
I know for me, it's been aligning with God's calendar, his timing, his rhythms. It has been a journey of understanding or even beginning to understand the gift that it is to really walk in partnership with him,
yeah,
to walk in
yeah,
that and receive that. I was in a coaching program this last week, and it was one of those kind of like, I think I shared a little bit about this, but this moment of realizing that when Jesus died on the cross, he reversed the curse of Adam, that Adam's curse was to toil,
mm,
was to toil. And Jesus came and he reversed that. And he said, no, now you get to carry my burden and it's light, and you
yeah,
get to partner with me, and there's joy. I bring joy, I bring peace, all of those things. And it just hit me like, wow, to go in knowing like I get to do this with God. I get to do this
mm,
as a partner.
yeah,
And that just, how sometimes you'll hear things or read it maybe 100 times, but then all of a sudden it just lands different and you go, oh my gosh, that just made so much sense
yeah,
to me.
yeah,
And that was very, very powerful. And I love that we've been aligning with the seasons, and every year we experience them. And God designed us to have something that's familiar, where at the same time, every year it's different.
yeah,
So even though we experience those seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, every year, He always meets us where we are in those seasons. And so here we are, and God is calling us to a whole new level in Him. We is as to align with His timing. And so our question is, where is God calling you next?
yeah,
Where is He calling you next? And if you have an idea of that, share it with us in the chat here. I can see some of them. And I'm so excited. And for some of us, I'm not even exactly sure where God is calling me next, but I know that it's somewhere that I haven't been. Clearly, that's kind of an easy out, right? But I believe that God has been preparing us for something really big. We don't know what's happening in the world. We don't know what's happening. I keep thinking back to when we launched Self Care Soul Care in January of 2020, and we thought, let's take this online. Like, who knew
yeah,
that in March things were going to only be online? And I feel a similar feeling right now. I feel like what God is calling us into is to level up and into raise up and really to connect on a deeper level with Him and to be aligned in doing that. I'm excited
yeah.
about
I
that.
am too, because I think that's such a need. I think that in conversations that I have with people in general, and then certainly with different people in the group, there really is a hunger for, instead of somebody putting themselves out there like there's some kind of rock star spiritualist or whatever, it's just like, you know what? Let's all gather together and learn about God together, because there's so we're never going to get to the end of God. So everybody brings an element of understanding that's filtered through their own life, through their own experiences, and then they bring that into the larger group. And rather than there being this kind of weird corporate hierarchy to things, it's more like, look, we're facilitators of, a community, of a group of people who are gathering together, and the focus of that is, how do I partner with God to do life? How do I go deeper in my relationship with God? It's not about a box check exercise. It's not about, a certain benchmark that you have to hit. It's really just a simple, how can you love God more, and what's in your way right now? And
Very
then let's work through what's in the way so that we can get back to the focus of loving God with our heart, mind, soul, and strength. And that's, it's weird because it's one of those things where everybody who's been to Sunday school one time has probably heard that, but it's very different when you live that out
yeah.
with intention. And when you live that out with intention, all of that resonates in an entirely different way. And it suddenly disattaches from being a cliche or a Christian bumper sticker, or something that you see on a Facebook meme, and it really becomes a mindset. It becomes a way of life. It becomes a worldview. It becomes the essence of how you truly want to experience God and whatever He has planned for you in this life. And I think that's really an exciting prospect. And it's exciting just to sort of, figure out how God wants us to engage in that with other people. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what the process has been. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting.
Yeah, it really has. And I love all the things that we have experienced together. We've experienced a lot. We've been through many seasons all together. We've done brunches and masterminds, one day workshops, coaching groups. We've done retreats, and we want to do more. More. We want to do all of those things. And we definitely feel that God is calling us higher. And so we've been thinking about how to bring people like us together who are growing in our emotional health and in our spiritual walk.
Yeah.
And what might it be like to create space to continue to work towards transformation? And we've been asking ourselves, what could that look like? And what could that make possible? And I love the idea of the possibility of that. The last 7 weeks, we've been meeting weekly, and we've just been getting a feel for what can we create? What kind of a group can we give a safe place, and how can we reach people? And so as we envision this place where we grow together, we have prayer and support and guidance and continued learning and definitely breakthrough. And so we love the culture of progress. And I know that if you're in this group, you're like me, you're aligning with that. We're always growing, right? We're always growing and learning, and we love that culture, and we want to continue that and celebrate milestones, celebrate victories, and grow in that. Be there, pray for each other. And I love when I tell people about this group. It's like, I love to say we have developed this foundation of digging deeper into the Hebrew roots of our Christian faith and sharing tools of deep emotional healing and growth. And you
Yeah.
that's just what it is. And there's safety here, and there's so much growth that happens here. And we want to work even more with people that are hungry for change and growth, and really willing to do whatever it takes to change the trajectory of their families, of their kids' lives, of their purposes. And so we love, because we have people in here that have their own businesses. They are doing coaching. So many of you have gotten certified to do grief recovery, and we've got, everybody's in a different place. And what I
Yeah.
love is what we offer is foundational to it all. It's just foundational. And so we want to know where you are and how we can help you, and what would be an amazing outcome for you. We'd love to get your input on that. We'd love to learn what it is that that would be great for you. And as we're doing that, what we're doing tonight is we're inviting you to become a founding member of our Inspired Life membership. And we're super excited for this, because this is something that we know that we can offer, and that we are so excited to see grow. This is for you if you're hungry for growth and transformation and really wanting to dig deeper in your spiritual walk. And this is for any kind of growth. If you are single in your relationship with God, with yourself, how do we learn to be a safe place for ourselves? I mean, that's in everything, in marriage and parenting, and
Yeah.
in all of those things. So
Yeah.
exciting for that.
I mean, I think everything, everything starts with you, right? Like you
Right.
can't take responsibility for anyone's life except your own.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter what else you have in your life, whether it's just you, whether it's a family, whether it's, kids that are just coming in or just graduating college, or, whatever stage you are in life, it always comes down to you and your connection to God, your union with God. And obviously that overflows into community, because as human beings, we're made for community. But central and core to that, the reason that you can show up and experience all that community has to offer, is because God is working in you individually and bringing healing into those places that are wounded, that are dark, that are hurting. And
Right.
in that, and then when you have a community that is able to come alongside that, that is a culture of healing and growing, that's not a culture of shaming and condemning or controlling, but it's really about how do we in the spirit move along together towards a deeper relationship and union with God. And there's obviously, kind of practical considerations in that. Like if you have kids, there are some practical considerations. If your kids have special needs, there's a way to think about that way. If you just are really looking at more connection with your Hebrew roots, whatever it is, it always starts with how we show up, and how we're showing up with God, and then outside of that, how we're showing up with the people that are in our lives. And
Yeah.
so I love that, because I feel like that's the gospel. The gospel is change and transformation through Jesus is possible. And the reason for that change and transformation is not so that we can reach some higher humanistic level. It's so that we can get even deeper and even closer to God. So that however intimate you are with God right now, you're going to look back next year, 10 years from now, and go, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's not even the same.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Grown so much. And that's really the larger vision. And we're like, how do we foster that? How do we get involved in facilitating that for ourselves, but also for other people? We don't know how much time we have on this earth. So, we want to do something meaningful with
Yeah.
that time. And the most meaningful thing I could think of is, how do we get closer to God?
Yeah.
I mean, when it all boils down.
Yeah. And what I love about this is going to be a coaching group, a membership. What we're going to do is we're going to have monthly topics that are based on the Hebrew teachings, which we've been doing, but we're taking that up. We have, our Living an Inspired Life book. This is the one from this year, and that's where we got the name from, is Inspired Life. And recognizing that what we want to do is build on this and create a place. We are looking at having weekly lives that you can plug into that will be on the Hebrew roots. We will have also special guests as we dive into topics like emotional health, Sabbath and dominion rest, communication, healthy attachment, those kinds of things we always weave through. We will be doing bi-weekly group calls. So we won't be meeting weekly because that is a lot. But we want to do bi-weekly. These calls, these last 7 weeks have been incredible. And I'm so encouraged to say that all the people that started with us finished with us. Like they
Yeah.
became a lifeline, and we're going to create that. There will be things that we're going to be doing, the themes of the month. So there will be topics. We have plans. We have plans for workshops and retreats coming up. And everybody here that's going to be at the founding member will always be the first to know, and you'll always get a discounted rate on those things as well. We like to think of this membership like a healthy river that flows and it sustains life. And we like to think of that as this membership. It's to build that experience as something that you can always depend on to be there for emotional and spiritual health and growth. And so we have really got a lot of plans. We also really, most importantly, we want your input. We want your input. We have a skeleton. We have an idea, and we already have some things in place of what we want to do, but we also want your input. We want to know from you. And so after this live, and in just about 5 minutes, we're going to be ending here. We're going to be going into our Zoom. I am going to put the link here because if you haven't been in our Zoom calls in the last 7 weeks, it's a new Zoom link, so it's not the same as those, but you got an email with the Zoom link if you've been part of some of our coaching that we've done in this last year. But if you don't have that email or you don't, I'm going to post the link because we would love to have you. We're going to take 20 people as a founding member. And so we want you to hold your spot if you're interested. If you can't be on the live, that's okay. Just drop us a little note right here or send me a DM. And the founding members is going to be $11 a month. That's it. 11 is one of my favorite numbers, right? 1111 is my thing. So for $11 a month, that's always going to be that. We aren't trying to create a fortune here. We are just wanting to have something that we're going to another level with, and we want to build and we want to create a cohesive, just connected. We have so much that we know that God is going to do with it. And we even have a little special gift that Dan just finished today, actually. Why don't you tell him about it?
It's actually a guide to world peace. No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be great? No, no. This guide is really is something God kind of downloaded to me actually about 3 years ago, and it was really just about kind of how to manage your time, but not in a traditional way where you're buying a planner and mapping out every second and all that. It's not about that. But if that works for you, you can do that in addition to. The main thing is, how do I look back on my year and go, you know what? All the things that were most important to me, all the things that really mattered, I did them. I did them. The things that meant the most, I did. And so it's really built around that to work in conjunction with the Hebrew months, because each month has kind of, God has attached a theme or an idea to that month. And so this guide is really a way of, how do I get the most out of that by putting some practical measures in place to really focus on doing that. So it's not a time management in terms of, we're going to map out every minute of your life. It's
Right.
time management so that you go, how do I look back? I mean, I think you can probably relate to this feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how busy I am. Now, I don't remember what I did last week, but I was really, really busy. Like, I did a lot of stuff. I just can't remember what it was, but man, was I busy. And I think a lot of us feel that, and then it's this sense of time is slipping through our fingers. And oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's, where does the time go? And I can't believe how fast time flies. And we say all these things, right? Because, yeah, it does go fast. And
Yeah.
there's a sense of angst and regret that's attached to it because we know, like, the things that really were most important to me didn't get done. And, a lot of us really struggle in the battle of the immediate versus the important. And sadly, more often than not, the immediate wins that battle. And
Yeah.
so this guide it's not the end all be all. It's not some magical anything. But it is a very practical, useful, helpful tool for bringing yourself into alignment with the Hebrew months. And so
Right.
anyway, that's a part of what we throw in as a thank you for joining us.
I'm excited. And we are definitely going to be adding in this guide that we did. We do these every year, and this was our guide for this year. So if you were with us in January, we did a 1-day workshop. And that workshop, we went through the beginning of this guide. The first part of the guide that we do every year is designed to go through the last year before, get complete with that in an emotional way, and to be able to embrace what's coming forward. And in this guide, there are places to write in each month. It's designed to go with you for the whole year. That's why we make a new one each year, because it's designed to write in it and use it. And so we will be with the membership, you will get a PDF version. If you might already have this. If you don't, let me know. If you do join, let me know. And then we are going to be adding to this. Oh my goodness, so much stuff. You guys, we have so much stuff, especially on the Hebrew months that we are going to be adding in. So this is going to be an incredible journey. We have a lot of things that we want to do this year that is going to be, that we're going to be able to bounce off. And what we just love is having this core group that we want to plan and mastermind with. So we're very excited. We love this idea. I love your energy. Thank you so much for all the great comments that are coming in. There's going to be a picture down below, and it's going to post here when we get off, of the book of the time secrets, not time secrets. It's like a time journal. I'm at a blank what we're calling it because it's brand new.
Well, it's like time to align.
That's right.
Is really what it is.
That's what it is. It's time to align. It's awesome, you guys. And so I love planners. I love things like that. And so it will be automatic. So we are going to be putting the final touches on this. We probably will start. I think we will probably start. We haven't actually set a date. I was thinking in my mind, the new month starts on the 20th of June. So I think we're going to go from month to month on the Hebrew calendar. So that's probably when we'll be starting. But believe me, you'll hear all about it. Over the week, we're going to be talking all about it. So we're so excited. Monique, I see you. I see Miriam. I see so many people. I know some of you, I don't have your name. Bethany.
I see Facebook user.
Yeah, I know.
Facebook users on.
You guys so much. Thank you so much. We're very, very excited. So we're going to sign off. This will be living in our Facebook group, and we'll be giving you guys so much more information. But if you want to jump on to the Zoom with us, and that's when we're going to glean. We want to hear from you guys. So yeah. We will see you all really soon.
On the other side, guys.
Yeah.
Or the other side. Night. Which way?
Which side? I don't know. That side. Okay. All right. Good night. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.